Well, good morning. William here. And today I want to talk about a subject of carrying without a permit. Um, in essence, carrying illegally. Now, I spent 15 years living in the state of California when I really took an interest in guns. And I remember the local gun shop in San Francisco that I went to. Every person there carried illegally. Um, Now they carried in the store, which at that time was legal. You without a permit, you could carry concealed in your own business, which is why a lot of the cab drivers carried as well. But they used to almost brag about the fact they carried outside the store, carried illegally, and a lot of their spouses did as well. I even had one say to me, "Well, the police have seen me with this before I even worked here and didn't do anything about it." And they actually advocated carrying illegally. Well, I'm going to tell you now that I have not talked to a police officer yet anywhere who hasn't told me that if you carry illegally and you're caught, you will be go to jail and you will be prosecuted. Now, one of the arguments that they used in this particular city in San Francisco was that the courts were too busy to prosecute someone carrying a handgun illegally, which at that time was a misdemeanor. I don't know what it is now, but at that time it was. And I had heard that to a degree. I knew a fellow who got caught carrying a 45, and ultimately his case was thrown out of court because of the backlog. But while that may, and I want to emphasize may, work, in the smaller cities, a good example of that was there was a fellow who was in the northern part of California, got caught with his illegal handgun or carrying illegally. It was not a legal handgun, but he was carrying it illegally. And their courts were not very busy. And he said that they interrogated him for hours. They accused him of every unsolved murder in the city's history. And the local prosecutor said he wanted to prosecute the case as vigorously as possible. As I said, by carrying illegally, you are putting yourself in a position that you just don't want to be in. Especially since today, in a lot of the states, you can get a permit very, very easily. My state, Nevada, um, it used to be a gross misdemeanor to carry a concealed weapon without a permit. Now, because you can, they have the shall issue law where you put in for a permit and go to the training, you will be issued the permit. Now it's a felony to carry a concealed handgun without a permit. Now, we are lucky in the sense that we have always been able to carry a concealed handgun in the car as long as it's not in your person or directly underneath you, and that's loaded too. California, there's no way. And of course, everyone knows how difficult it is to get concealed carry permits in California. But my best advice to you is do not listen to all of these experts in gun shops and things. If they give you advice like this, especially as easy it is to get a permit these days. If you live in states like New Jersey and Illinois and Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., things those and California for that matter, your chances of getting a concealed permit are almost non-existent. And I feel for you. My advice for you is to move. But once again, do not carry illegally. Go to the training. There's plenty of fine courses out there. Get your concealed carry permit. Obey the law. Because you must remember in this day and age especially, anyone with a gun is viewed by the media and many times the police as a criminal. Even the politicians in Washington now are labeling people who carry guns and have guns as terrorists. No names mentioned, but I think we know who those people are. But you must also remember too that, and this is a phenomenon that I will never understand, many, many police are anti-gunners. It's very sad that they just because of what they do, what they deal with on a daily basis, they're against guns and gun ownership. Not all, but quite a number of them. So you're probably going to be the one that when you're stopped for the traffic violation, ultimately searched and your legal carried handgun is found, you'll be one of those anti-gun cops that stops you. So don't carry illegally, get your permit, obey the law, and always be safe. Thanks.